Charles. Macro.
What up, everybody? Charles Macro here today. Back again with Empyrion Galactic Survival. Guys, Alpha 9 Experimental is here. Yeah. Hey, I know we've been waiting, anticipating. Alpha 9 is finally here, man. We're getting closer and closer to the full game release, and it's just great to see that Ilion Studios is still adding, building, growing, developing Empyrion into the game that we want and love. All right. So I hope everybody's been doing well, man. Shout out to everybody. I done missed y'all. I know I ain't done a lot of Empyrion videos lately. But y'all know how that is. Life is crazy. You want to know what's been going on, hit me in that comment box, man. I'll let y'all know what up. But I'm glad to know that everybody's still around kicking and doing well, man, and playing and enjoying Empyrion, all right? So let's look at some of the new features that are going on. Quick overview, as they say, is logistics, AI factions, reputation of territory, leveled NPCs, improved weapon handling, improved game start. Now, y'all know how I do. I'm going to just go through some of the major highlights. I ain't going to make this too long. If you want to see a very, very detailed look with some examples, check out Spange, man. Y'all know who Spange is. He got some great content, great builder, man. That's my guy. Check him out, man. He also did a little overview of this, man. So logistics, what is logistics? Logistics, it's looking like logistics can be interpreted a few different ways, but the main way they're implementing logistics is the fact that we're adding weight and volume. So y'all know how it is, like in a lot of RPG games, you can just carry an unlimited amount of stuff. That's how it was in Empyrion. You had spaces, but you could carry as much stuff as you wanted to carry as long as it would fit in those different slots. And it could be huge. We technically carrying around motors and huge blocks and weapons, and they counteract. Now, not only do you have your space limitations, you also have your mass volume limitations. So as a human, you can't carry but so much. And it's going to be the same thing with blocks. It's going to be the same thing with your vessels. You're going to have to factor all these things in when you're building, which is dope. Now, what they did add, and I've had this discussion with a lot of my Empyrion peoples, man, this is kind of their answer to the conveyor system, and it's a Wi-Fi system, and I think that's kind of dope. If you get close within the vicinity, just like your Wi-Fi at home, then you'll be able to transfer items back and forth, still in this logistics window. Now, I know this is going to confuse and it's going to be complicated to a lot of people, but let's say you're near 3 or 4 different items, boxes, workshop items. With these drop downs here, you can choose between them and you can transfer things back and forth. So this also, when used correctly, will balance that weight issue, because as long as you're close enough to things, you're good. Then I saw that they have a wireless, we can call it like a booster. It's basically a wireless module that you'll use. And if you put that wireless booster on your HV, we'll say, and then you put it on your base, 1, of the booster range, 2, you can send back and forth easier, and 3, as long as you're standing within that Wi-Fi circle or radius, you can transfer as much stuff as you need. So if you start boosting and setting up boosters all around, we just say, I'm gonna assume even the whole planet, and y'all let me know what you think in the comments, then you can almost infinitely convey or conveyor different items all around. You can also do things like refuel, your base, your tanks, things of that nature, your oxygen. So it's going to be very interesting, very interesting. Now, you also got to consider, like I said, volume and the weight, which will be in liters. So you're going to have a limit of how much you can actually carry. So once again, that's going to be very, very interesting. Now, constructors have this input-output dynamic. Now, you have to choose which container is being input into that constructor. Then an output, I'm not sure if the output means it's going to output back to the container that you choose, or this is just what's output and it's just there for now. I'm not sure about that. We'll see that in execution, but that's another interesting dynamic and interesting change. Modular containers. So due to that volume issue, and as you'll have one container and it's going to get full, or the volume it will be maxed out, the containers are modular and basically combinable. So the more containers you put together, the more it increases the capacity, basically. So if you got one and it's 50 and then you stick it with another one, now you got 100 with those two. Instead of it being a 50 and a 50 and a 50, they're all combined to make that volume increase. That's pretty dope. That's pretty interesting. Once again, we got to see all this in execution. They have AI factions now, reputations, territories, and I know that if you basically infringe upon or infract in people's territory, depending on what they want you to do and what they don't want you to do, it's going to affect your reputation level. So we're familiar with reputation levels, but now the Xerax, the Talon, which are the natives, the Polaris, which are the companies that we see in the trading posts, and then aliens, they all have a influence range. And if you kill Talons, which are like the innocent dudes, you actually can boost with the Xerax. Even though they hate you and it's going to take a lot, we know the Talon are like naturalists. So if you pick plants in their area, even if you're neutral, it'll go down. Now, I think if they like you to a certain degree, if you really get in their favor, where they love you or honor you, as it says, you can do things that they wouldn't let you do. Like you can pick plants, even when they wouldn't let you pick plants if you were just neutral. So once again, that's going to be a nice dynamic with factions, and I hope that spills over and deeper where the NPCs do more, affect more. Maybe you get missions. Maybe we have missions. The better you get with a faction, then certain people that you approach will provide you with missions. But until you get that rep up, they don't fool with you, you know? This is a look at the territory view. We see this green right here. We see the blue over here for Polaris. We see the red over here for the Xerax. So yeah, you just have to be aware that when you in somebody else's house, you got to conduct yourself a certain type of way. You can't just be doing what you want. They also refine the hub so you can see what area you're in right here. Okay, when you're in somebody's territory, this is the menu, so you can see the reputation that you have with each of these. It says unfriendly, neutral, neutral. I'm thinking that's the way it starts. I actually took a look at it. So yeah, that's kind of how it will start out, and then you can affect it. Okay, and this is the system. So hostile, unfriendly, neutral, friendly, and honored. Okay. In honor state, you get a discount at the faction trader. You get to mine ore without an RP penalty. You get to spawn structures without an RP penalty. Okay. Friendly, you're able to trade with the faction. You can stay in the territory without the penalty, and you can harvest plants. Okay, so you at least want to get to that friendly state. Neutral ain't enough. You need to get friendly with them. We need to get a little friendly. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, they have rivalry. So as I said, depending on how you treat one faction, it may rise or drop your standing with the other faction just because they don't like you messing with. They're like, oh, you rocking with the Xerax, and you know we Talon over here. Oh, we can't be fooling with you like that. So it's one of them type of things. Now, as you see here, NPCs now have levels. It's levels to this, man. It's levels to this. So we know what that is with levels, man. The higher the level, the harder they gonna be. You know, the higher the level, the tougher that enemy is gonna be, that NPC will be if you decide to attack them. And then, so depending on the level that on, it's gonna multiply and make it harder. They say weapon handling has improved. Okay, there's an iron sight aiming, the aim down sight. So you see the little joint right here on your pistol when you shoot. All of them have recoil now. Okay. Look at this scope, funky looking scope. That's a lot of little things, man. And then they improved the game start. So the game start looks a little simplified. It's a little cleaner. Still has some of the same things, but then it's easier to see your player at the top of the startup screen. There's an icon you click, and then you can change your player, change your options. So yeah, they try to streamline things. Oh man, and early game is way more difficult. Oh, they also changed the Robinson Protocol. So now the Robinson Protocol isn't that same mission that we did where you got to go all the way through to the mainframe. Now the Robinson Protocol is just a tutorial. It's just a tutorial. Then they have another new missions. They added a lot more missions, and one of them is the one we did where we go and, you know, we find the mainframe and the whole nine. So they're separate. So you don't have to worry about, if you say yes to the Robinson Protocol, being locked into that whole series of objectives. All right. They reduced the health and food you start with, so it makes it a little more difficult. I tested it out on medium. I only had like half of the life. They removed the safe zone around the starter biome, y'all. So it's like dangerous right out the gate. And those little insects, like if you, let me tell you, I tested it out, right? If you too close to one of them little insects too long, the ones that ain't too tough, they'll attack you. I was standing at one of the small wreckages, right? Early game, very beginning, and dude just started attacking me. I had to jump around, and then I didn't even have a weapon. He left me alone when I got far enough away from him, which wasn't too far. But then right behind me was one of them water monsters that y'all know I be looking for, the water monster. The water monster was right there. He just sitting there back bubbling, looking all nasty. Like, yo, I can't wait till I got to deal with one of them. It wasn't as big as I thought it was, but it was big enough. And I just don't know the danger level. But yo, it's crazy out there. It feels like danger is all around you at all times, man. Like, for real. They increase the creature spawn rate. Like, yo, y'all gonna see it's different. And the early game is much tougher, but it's in a good way. I think the balance is different. They added things like these boarding ramps that look pretty cool. They integrated a new system for plants and trees, so they on the GPU. Now it does look way better. Like, you can identify food. Everything looks crisper and sharper, man. They really did a good job. And as they said, they did a texture model update. So like, there's so many things that they updated that look so much crisper, so much sharper, man. They did a really great job. So they improved the AI pathing. So I ain't had a chance to test this yet. We gonna test this as we play. But AI can now path between terrain and bases. Okay, and they now can path in narrow bases, and they can now path through doors. Ooh. Now I said that if you see some of my last plays, I said, when are the enemies gonna be able to come through the door? Right now they just stand behind the door and wait on you to open it, which gives you the advantage. If you back, you trying to regroup, you trying to get your energy back, and they coming through the door at you, charging you, one of them shotgunners, yeah, this is definitely gonna add to the gameplay, baby. So yeah, I'm ready for that. They did a lot of updates with the enemies and the way they react, the way they act. You can go through all that. I ain't gonna go through all that. They upgrade a lot of sound, visuals. Like I said, it looks very good, man. It looks better. You're gonna notice. No matter what your system is, you should see it improve. So there were a lot more tweaks and changes. I ain't gonna read through all of these. You can read through all of these at your leisure. What I want you to do is let me know what you are anticipating, how you feel about some of these changes with like the mass and the volume. All right, I enabled it, so when I start my playthrough, which will be coming out in the next day or so, I enabled it. If you need to know how to enable it, it's at the top of this forum, but I can show you. Let me know if you want me to show before I get started how to enable the mass volume, because it's disabled in the beginning. So let me know if you want to see that, all right? And let me know if they covered or included things that you wanted in Alpha 9. We got to start preparing for Alpha 10 because they didn't put everything in here that I know we wanted to see. Also, guys, let me know what you think about them pictures that we saw of the drones that they were showing us. And what did that mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see anything about drone formations. We can do more with drones. We can build drones. I saw another game where you can build drones. You know what I mean? Now, you can build something that's a drone, but it doesn't have AI where we can make it act like a drone. Shout out to my guy Solo. He builds drones right now in preparation for when the drones have AI. But all of those pictures we saw, I don't see anything in here talking about that. Higher drone presences, more tactical drone attacks, or drone attacks with fleet coming down and being lowered. I know that they improved some things that make that possible, but let me know that I missed something and that those things are enabled now. Your base will get attacked by a fleet of Zirax and drones covering them, or get dropped down close. You know what I mean? I didn't see that. But let me know if I missed that, all right? So hit me in that comment box, man. Let me know what you like, how you feel. Let me know what you think about the updates and the changes, new things that have been implemented. Let me know what your favorite thing that they added is and what you're looking for in the next one, all right? Oh, and also, when I start my new game, which I'm about to do you want to see a lot of that early game grind? Because it is not easy, y'all. It's difficult now. Early game is going to take a little longer because you can't carry as much. It'll be more back and forth with resources, and then just trying to even get that starter HV. Now the starter HV is valuable. That new lesser resource one that they implemented is going to be very valuable because it's very dangerous. Just any type of protection is going to help because people are dying left and right is what I keep hearing. So yes, it's going to be very interesting. So let me know if you want to see all of that, or if you want me to still edit it out and get to the point where we already building and we got HVs and vessels and things of that nature. All right, Charles Macro. Empyrion is back, baby. Alpha 9 is here. We're going to have a blast with that. So hit me in that comment box, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Let me know what y'all want to see, all right? Thank you. Salute to all my Empyrion players, man. Like I said, I miss you guys. I'm here. I'm back, and I got more content on the way. Other games too, but definitely this Empyrion, man. All right? Charles Macro, Empyrion, thank you. I'm going to see y'all on that first episode, all right? Get ready. Peace.
Charles Macro.